Right, okay. But yeah.
What was your Hey au pairs, I'm Edwina.
I'm Hannah.
Today we are talking about dreaded phone plans
Yeah.
in France, but a lot of this information kind of pertains to Europe, but it's going to be specific to France. Phone plans are always the absolute worst. Phone plans and bank accounts are hell in France, and so we figured we should talk about it because I've gone through my fair share of hell.
But before we begin, please follow us on social media. All the links are down below and in the corner somewhere here, probably.
In the corner.
Is it that corner? Okay. We have groups on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and follow our blog. And please, if you can,
Support us on
really appreciate
Patreon.
it. It would be a huge help.
Starting off with the very basics, I think, what are the big phone companies in France? There are 4. Bouygues, which no one really knows how to pronounce. B-O-U, I'll put it in the description below.
Oh yeah, Voyages.
Yeah. Orange, SFR, and Free. Free is known to be the cheapest of them. Orange is like best service, but is the most expensive. And then
Paris.
I would say Bouygues and SFR are comparable. Orange is a company that is all around Europe, but the other 3 are kind of specific to France. You can use any 4 of these companies to get a phone plan. And obviously, you're not obligated to get a phone plan. You can get either a monthly paid plan or you can get a prepaid option. The first complication is, as an au pair, is that it's really expensive to have a phone and go on a phone plan. So if a host family is willing to buy you a chip, you can put your chip right into your phone and use it using your phone that you usually use in your home country, which is really, really convenient. If not, you're going to have to buy a new phone, and you can buy a crappy like flip phone or use one of your host family's phones, or if you're looking for a cheap place to buy a phone, you can go to Fnac, which isn't like that cheap, but it's F-N-A-C. But I would say the cheapest place to find a phone is La Poste, the post office. And the post office also is a 5th place, I guess, that offers phone plans as well. When I first needed to get a phone, I didn't want to be on a plan because I didn't want to navigate the whole paying online, and then it just was like a very scary thing to me. So I was like, you know what, I can manage going into the orange shop, my local orange shop, and paying 20 euros a month every month. And I will just do that once a month, and at least it's under my control and I don't have to like look up French things online because I can't handle that. So that's what I did for years. I would just go into Orange and put $20 on my 20 euros on my phone, my little chip, unlimited calls and texts within France, and like 2 gigabytes of data, which isn't that much. So I was very, very careful about when my data was switched on and when it was switched off. Because with the average person, I think it's enough if you're not using Google Maps and streaming all the time. But if you're doing that, you're probably going to use it up within like 2 weeks.
What happened for me was my host mum bought me a phone plan, and it would be topped up every month, and it would have 10 megabytes of data, which is like 10 text messages. It would have maybe unlimited texts, I think, and then I also had my phone from home, which I could like turn on and off sporadically if I really needed it.
So you had 2 different phones.
Yeah, I was carrying 2 phones around, like the burner phone and then like an iPhone. One very important point to take into consideration is whether your phone is blocked or locked or unlocked, I think the official term is. And if you're an American, it's likely that your phone is going to be locked.
And it's a disaster.
Yeah, because basically, if you have a locked phone, then you can't move from your company in America, which would be like what? Like
Verizon or AT&T or whatever. It's locked into that company.
Right.
And you can't use other companies. Excuse us, we have a dog in the background who's barking a ton. So you can't use your phone outside of service with that company.
If you bought your phone on a contract in the UK, then you will probably be locked into it. But you can very easily go to the shop and ask them to unlock it if you're in your home country. So check that. I think it costs some money though, right?
Yeah.
I would say check that before you even leave America or Europe, your home country. Distracted by all the animals that go past us right now.
What do you do if your phone is locked? How do you make sure your phone is unlocked? Make sure you go to your company before you leave. Check if it's unlocked. If your phone is fully paid for, your phone company in America at least is actually obliged to unlock your phone. and let you use it internationally. If it's still within contract, you can pay to unlock it for a temporary amount of time sometimes, and then when you come back, it'll be locked again.
But the reason this is important is that when you get to France, you'll need to buy a SIM, and if you put that in and your phone's locked, it'll just say SIM's
Doesn't
locked,
work,
phone's locked, can't work, and it's so irritating.
Yeah.
Just like seeing that little message after you've gone through the whole process of buying the SIM card, speaking to someone in French maybe, like dealing with it, paying for it, and then you can't even use it. Oh.
I always buy unlocked iPhones because I travel so much that it's just very convenient for me. But I bought my last iPhone off of Amazon, so I was the initial owner of it, so I don't know what its past history was. I got to France, and it had been promised to me that it was unlocked, and then I found out that it was locked. Yeah. And I had no way of calling the original phone company because I didn't know anything about the phone, so I had to go and buy a new phone, which is why I have this really, really crappy 5C.
If you need to buy a new phone in France,
do not go to a store called KC, Kase, which is like used phone stores all around Paris. They're the worst. I tried to return this and they were like, no. And they were just so mean about it anyway.
In terms of if you're a European citizen, which I currently still have, then you basically have the option now to use your phone that you have at home, and there are no roaming fees or charges anywhere abroad, which is so nice. Like I used to have to change SIM card every country I went to. I was like, Portugal, Spain, cross the border, buy a new SIM, and it would just be ridiculous.
So stupid.
So now I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is just my phone, this only applies for a certain amount of time on, I know definitely for giffgaff only applies for 6 weeks, but I will post below more information on the official EU website. But this is a really cool thing, because even if you have giffgaff, you can just buy direct data rather than having to sort out phones at all. So I would definitely recommend that. But what I'm interested to know is, what are you Europeans doing about your phone contracts? Because back in the day, it used to be so irritating for me, and I want to know if I'm doing the best thing now.
Well, in America, you can now, there's a lot of companies that have international plans, so you can pay a little extra, or maybe even the same thing, and use your phone as if you were in America, but you're in France, which is really nice. Not what we had back in the day, 5 years ago, not even that long ago. Which is why I'm also if you know that you're going to be traveling, do your research, do yourself a favor and research companies that don't oblige you to be on a contract. Like now I'm with some random company called H2O, but their service is fine. Like it's kind of crappy sometimes, but it's fine enough, and I don't have to worry about being locked into a contract, which means that I'm not paying for my phone when I'm not in the US. I don't want to be paying for 2 phone cards at the same time. I literally can't afford that. So